Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to so actually I've been trying to come up with a name, right? Because I wanted to do like a more co-op content soon, and whether that's playing or just having people on chatting like you are here with us today. And the name I've come up with is Deathsie Doubles. So welcome to kind of the first Deathsie Doubles we've got here, and we're joined by Mick. Max, if you'd like to introduce yourself a little bit, I actually don't know much about you either, so we're kind of meeting for the first time today. So if you can introduce yourself to our chat here.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm horrible at bragging in introductions. I used to play a ton of Limited, took about a year break, but I've been playing for like 10 years. I think I started in 2013 around Theros.
Actually, same. Okay, yeah.
And when you start that young and you dedicate so much of your life to Magic, it's hard not to get really good.
Yep.
At the format you play, which is Limited. I didn't have a ton of great results because COVID happened right as I started hitting the pro scene. But luckily I did some good networking and met with a lot of people who are still doing well. Nathan Stewart's done the best of us. Now I just grind Magic online and try to get better at Limited.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. So I feel like our Magic courses have been quite different. I mean, we both played a lot of paper Magic. So I started right at the start of like M13, and the set before that I believe was Innistrad. So like right around that time, and so I really got into Limited. I really got into drafting, and I also at the time I actually played a lot of Standard as well, because at least where I lived, you couldn't draft all the time. Like you could draft, you most of the time it would be like 1 or 2 drafts a week at the local game store. It was kind of hard to fire off a pod, and so if you wanted to play Magic, you had to play like Standard, or you had to play like Modern or something. So those were kind of dark times. That was kind of like before I started playing Magic online. So I had moved to England. And after moving to England, I played I was there for university, and I played together with my game society. But that was like pretty infrequent, maybe like twice a month or something like that. And outside of that, I would play some Magic online during the holidays and stuff. And actually, it was right around that time as well with Theros. So I don't remember what that card was called, like Opaline Unicorn or Crystalline Unicorn or something. 3 mana, 1/2 artifact. You tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back in Theros,
that's my on memory.
Yeah. So back then, I would just spam 5-color decks like all the time on Magic Online. Like very rarely would I trophy with like these crappy like 5-color piles kind of thing. But I was having a blast, and that's kind of the way that I like to play Magic. And then fast forward, Magic Arena comes out, and at this time I basically had quit Magic for quite a while. I was a Hearthstone pro, and I did some television commentating in England, and I was also a Hearthstone tournament commentator as well. So I hadn't been playing Magic. One of my friends asked me to teach him how to draft, and he's actually a popular streamer here on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/show, SJOW, and
I used to watch him a lot.
Yeah, and then I actually got back into Magic, and I got back into Magic Arena, and it was really hard as well because there was this sort of dichotomy between Magic Arena and Magic Online, and I felt like if I wanted to actually make a successful stream and a sort of career out of this, I kind of had to play Magic Arena, right? And Magic Arena does have its downfalls. Like I personally hate the best of one hand smoother kind of thing. Like I actually don't mind best of one Magic. I actually like it. But I really hate the hand smoother, and it really changes the set. So I think that both of us will have like kind of different experiences, but keeping that in mind, we can kind of account for that with our analysis and stuff. But Mr. Metronome, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everyone from Mr. Metronome's channel. Mr. Metronome says, Max, I really enjoyed your thread, and Mom, it came to a lot of similar conclusions. By the way, do you prefer to be called Max or Mick?
Max, yeah.
Okay, Max, nice. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Metronome. Yeah, so both of us, I feel like we started around the same time in Magic, and since then we've had very different sort of paths. You playing a lot of Magic online, me playing a lot of Magic Arena. But yeah, it's great to meet you. Thank you so much again for coming on today, Max. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah, my experience was definitely. I tried Magic Arena a lot during COVID. I would play Magic Arena while I was in my college classes on Zoom and just not pay attention. And it was much better for that because you didn't have to focus as much on manual dexterity aspect, I guess. But I moved away from it when I started dedicating more time to just trying to get better since, yeah, the hand shuffler makes it. I don't know how to describe it other than I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like pretty terrible. I'm not sure if you remember, but there was like this 1 week on Magic Arena when it was Ikoria. So when Ikoria first dropped at Magic Arena, they had like accidentally forgot to turn on the hand smoother or something. And I was like, man, this is the fucking best. This is like the best Magic I've ever played on Magic Arena. You know what I mean? And it's hard because like best of 3 Magic on Magic Arena is still not ranked. So I go in there and it's just like a really weird feeling. I feel like I'm like, I don't know. It feels like I'm going to the middle school Magic the Gathering club or something, you know, and I'm just like beating up on all these kids kind of thing. And I know that's like a little bit rude. It's not that only kids play best of 3 or anything on Magic Arena, but you know, without having that ranked aspect, it feels like there's just something missing. So in general, I still prefer to play best of 1. But yeah. All right. So have you watched the Pro Tour already? You watched the Pro Tour?
No, I was busy today. I was going to do it.
Actually,
once it got all edited and put on YouTube, probably.
Okay.
I don't like Twitch that much.
Did you want to watch this together? Is that something that you're down for?
I am down for anything. That sounds like a fun time.
All right. All right. Let me go ahead and try to. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to share this screen with you. All right. Things might break. Things might break, but let's try here. All right. So this is the first sort of paper Magic I'm watching, and I think like one of the main differences for Magic Arena, and let me know how it is on Magic Online, but Magic Arena doesn't have that sort of rare slot. Like there's no you know, that extra foil slot. So I believe that in paper and on Magic Online that you have more rares in the draft. Is that correct?
I'm not exactly sure. I think the difference, only Magic Online has extra rares. This is just something that Siggy told me. And what he said was that if you get a rare battle in your pack, it will not replace the regular rare, whereas it will in
paper,
Arena, and paper.
Oh, I see.
I'm certainly not certain about that.
Yeah, it's actually quite strange, right? Like how the experience is not sort of equalized on all the platforms. So yeah, we do have like a little bit of a different experience altogether, but just try to keep it in mind. All right, so pack 1 here, he has Invasion of Fiora and also the Kenra as well. And I believe there's also a Stoke the Flames in the pack. What do you think about his pick here, Invasion of Fiora?
Oh, I mean, it seems pretty easy. Rafts are always great, and this one has extra value on the backside. The flexibility of choosing creatures has come up very many times for me as well. If you have a legendary creature and they don't, or they only have a legendary creature, you just get to keep some of your own stuff, flip it immediately, and win the game.
What's your next pick here in the pack? Stoke or
Forest is possible. Okay, I actually think of Forest is personal just because I'm so low on red. The other two are definitely objectively better cards. I've just found red to play so clunkily with its removal being too expensive in the Convoke Shadow the Source or the 3 damage of the 3 damage card. Not quite being enough.
Yeah. So, okay, so if this is not the Pro Tour and you're on Magic Online, are you picking Niv here or nah?
Definitely for fun.
Yeah, okay, good. Good.
I think it's vaguely close, and it's just so much fun. I mean, I'm not much of a spike. I do still do cool stuff. Plus,
nice.
You have to figure out whether it's good one way or another.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I'm very surprised. I mean, I already know what he took. I guess I'll be spoiling it. I'm very surprised he did not take the Dusk Legion Duelist. I understand wanting to say black, but Duelist just has so much potential.
What is it? What is Dusk Legion Duelist again?
It's the 2-mana 2/2 Vigilance. Whenever it gets a counter on it, you draw a card, but only once per turn. It's definitely clunky in black-white. It's almost a red-white signpost uncommon, just because you kind of have to be red-white. Black gets very few good.
I actually do agree with that as well. So Nightshade here in chat says he knew he was being cut from white. Like, I really don't believe in that sort of philosophy of drafting, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still just picking the best cards.
Oh,
And,
did the person passing to him, is that Autumn Burchett, open Elishnorn?
yeah, maybe actually,
That was
maybe.
what happened. I
Okay.
remember seeing that earlier in the stream. Okay. No, that makes tons of sense, although I do think I would have taken the discard spell for the gift, but that could be wrong.
Yeah,
I love the
we'll see that.
Izumi Informant here.
I do like it
That
as well.
card's
I feel like it is
very
still
good.
it is still quite sad a little bit to pick that pack 3. I'm not sure if you agree with that, but like I mean I do like the card in the format. Like I do think it's good, and it works with his first pick as well.
Someone had asked how did Reid know for sure, and I think he know for sure because the Autumn took the Elishnorn because it wasn't still in the pack. Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
They
So this pack is really interesting. So I do like this invasion. I like the Mind Rod invasion, and then he's pulling the Fira to the front. Like, what do you think about this?
I would slam the invasion here. The reason I actually didn't hate the Zoomian format last pick is because I think hedging into one color is very strong early in this format, just because you want to be able to read signals, and one of the easiest way to do that if one color is very open, you just take a bunch of cards of that color.
Yep.
And that includes Invasion of Eldraine, even though I think Fearja is a slightly stronger card.
And it's weird, right? Because like that sort of not picking up the Death Legion Zealot is a sort of a nod to not wanting to move it to white. Because Autumn was white, and then picking this Fira to me like it really doesn't make sense. Like I kind of want to talk about that a little bit more later, but yeah. So all right.
We're in the next pack. He may have been thinking that that he could splash the Furia since it's 5 mana and only 1 splash. I mean, it'd be base black splashing a bunch of different things, which is also another advantage of being base 1 color.
Yep.
But yeah, still.
Drag Recycler here. Yeah, like I really don't like it. Like I get it. You just want to keep on being black, but come on, like drag Recycler is like the drag of the barrel, you know, like just.
No, it is quite literally the drags. You're just never excited to play it, and I would have rather taken. Honestly, I think I would have taken Invasion of Pyrulia there, even though it's blue-green. Just hedge that.
My God, Max. I have a really soft spot for City on Fire, man. Like, I really love this card. It obviously doesn't work with a sweeper that well, but, like, I think it's a pretty cool card. What do you think about City on Fire?
I have yet to play it. When I've played against it, my experience has been, like, it's a turn or two too late because it costs so much mana and requires convoking, and then, like, they play it. I finesse combat math to like put them low without dying, and then they can never really attack, and somehow I get the game later.
Okay.
It's such a sweet card, and it is game winning, but I think it's a little too clunky.
Yep. All right, another drag here.
Another drag recycler. Yeah, I just don't love these picks. Even if you're going to stay in black, I think the Halo Hopper is a better card than drag recycler.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, I would rather even just pick a red card here. I know that a lot of people don't like black red, but like come on, drag recycler, come on.
It's another color that really needs the signpost uncommon. The 2/2 that sacks to draw cards and get counters.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so just putting ourselves in Reid's mind here, kind of interesting. So there is a signpost, red, black, and common, but you know, like Reid really hasn't capitalized that well on keeping himself open to red, black. So
I think Reid forced a little too hard. I think that was his mistake. I think taking a lot of black cards early is good if you think it's open, but like seeing these later packs, every color is having really good cards that go really late. The white-blue invasion, the tribute to the world tree, the black-red uncommon, and it feels like he's just kind of committed where he doesn't want to be. Now the Knight of Numenali, even though clearly white is unlikely to be open because Autumn took the Raider.
I think he's just take it anyways.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, coming in hot. Yeah, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's actually insane to me as well. Like,
I do know, having played against Reid a few times, he's a very bread and butter kind of drafter. Likes to get in his colors early, find something that's vaguely open, and try to do strong things. Not a huge hedger.
There are benefits to that. Like in best of 3, you do have you do generally end up with a more robust sideboard, right? And so you do have like these sideboarding options. And you have a little bit of agency, but I still think it was like a little bit too early. I don't really I don't believe in committing that early in general. All right, so he passed the 3 mana 4/3. I actually do like the 3 mana 4/3. I'm not sure exactly how it plays out in red black, but
which 3 mana 4/3? I'm sorry.
The 3 mana 4/3 in red. It's like the Karsus Defender thing.
Yeah, it's a fine card. I really just like if you're playing that card and you're playing the cards that work with that card. I've found your deck to play out clunkily and low card quality, and you'll just like kind of get rinsed in the late game.
Yeah,
Hard to
it's like
other than that.
I actually agree with you that this sort of backup, like I really don't think backup is that impactful in the format. Like it's cool and stuff, but like you play backup at something, it's just adding a counter and adding an ability for a turn. It's like the thing that you generally put a counter on doesn't die during combat. Like it just doesn't really play out like that. It's just a sort of filler mechanic for me in the format.
Totally. Another issue I've had with it is just like if you're using the counter and you're not attacking with it, then the creature's raid is usually not good. Like it's not good as a blocker. And in this format, you just don't have that much control over whether you're going to be the aggressor or not. And if you do go full out aggression, you're going to get flooded and lose late games a reasonable amount of the time.
Yeah, so Reid here finishing pack 1, I really don't like his spot. Like he has some good stuff going on. But I felt like if he picks up the Mind Rot Invasion, then he's in a much better spot in terms of like what he wants to do. And then if he had moved into like or like speculated on red black a little bit, like yeah, it's a little bit awkward that he's playing like this red black tempo Mind Rot deck with the sweeper in it. But I think overall that's still sort of a better spot than he's in now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of different ways to take this, and he committed a little too hard to black, not realizing that it wasn't going to be open. And now, like, it's already pack 2. If he doesn't play black, or if he tries to be not that heavy black, he's not going to have playables, and it just feels bad.
Yeah.
What I actually would have liked to see was a little crazy was I would have liked to have taken the green-blue invasion and the white-blue invasion, and then the Niv Mizzet on the wheel, and tried to maybe move into 5 colors, or at least like base green splashing, and that way you can still make use of all your good cards. I think a really important thing in this format is figuring out how to make good use of your good cards without forcing a color that's not open.
Yes, I like that as well. And then actually his pack 1 pick 1, the board wipe kind of plays well into that. If he can pick up like one of the Verdant Havens kind of thing, like I don't think Verdant Haven's a great card or anything, but it does what it needs to do. Kind of.
Is that the Verdant Haven? Oh, that's an old card, right? You mean the Burgent Growth or something like that?
Yeah, whatever it's called. I
actually made an insert. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. Yeah, I just don't remember the names of those cards.
That is reasonable. I made an interesting observation that this is, I think, the most recent set since Kaldheim that's had a common land untapper and a Verdant Growth. Now you've got Megal in it effect, which I think usually signals the strength of a format, the power level on average of a format, because this is an insanely high power level format.
Yeah, for sure. That's all right. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. I haven't untapped a that enchantment land like with a tracker in this format yet, but that is a good point. Like actually, that would have been super interesting if Reid had the foresight there to like wheel that Niv Mizzet, because in a draft like this, you kind of expect that to wheel. It's not like Magic Arena, not Magic Online or anything. It's actually high stakes Magic. So
yeah, I think he just didn't hedge enough, and like it's definitely hard to see yourself when you already have all these black cards and you think black's vaguely open, like maybe moving into a completely other archetype and not being heavy black. But with every time you take a mediocre black card over something that gives you flexibility later, it gets worse and worse, and suddenly you end up with a pack 1 like this, where you have like 5 pretty good cards and a lot of filler, and you're really not sure where to go from here.
Yeah, one interesting thing is that if the packs line up kind of well, and he is kind of forced into this red-black position with the double drag recycler, like if he gets 2 active treasons or something, like he could actually play it like that. And, that's actually a way out.
That would be strong, and I'm sure that's something he had in mind when he took these drag recyclers.
Right, another Kenra Swift Spear and Aetherblade Agent. I do like Aetherblade. Oh my gosh.
All right, tough.
Is it tough? I feel like you do have to at this point you just spam the Elira.
No, I think it is tough. I think you could make an argument for not doing it. Like it's just so clear that white's not going to be open, even though you got that late double 2/2 night, autumn revealing the white Praetor and the color mostly not being open. Like you're going to get caught pack 3, so you're kind of saying you have to make a decision. I think the decision ends up being easy once you do the math, but I do think you have to do the math of like, is this one super strong rare and this one pack 2 I get going to be enough to fill out my deck with good cards, considering the black is not that open and I don't have a lot of playables yet.
Yeah, so one of the things that personally think in Magic is that people overemphasize like getting cut and stuff. Like, yeah, you're gonna get cut or whatever, but like sometimes it's fine having sloppy seconds, for lack of a better term. Like it's fine, getting the not the best white cards or whatever, and just taking like the second best white cards or whatever. But yeah, all right, another Fira and a complete Huntmaster. What do you like here?
It just seems like a slam Furia. Like I think you're committed to white at this point.
Yep.
And Furia is the best card by quite a bit.
So he has triple
Having
5 drop now.
build around it.
Yeah, so he has triple 5 drop now. I wonder what steps he can take to make sure that his all right. So completed Huntmaster being picked here over the Fira. That's pretty surprising for me as well. I mean, he does have a lot of 5s.
Black red and wanting to do a sacrifice archetype, which I could see, but Huntmaster is just so mediocre if you're not exactly black red with the synergy cards.
Yeah, and also the thing to note is that having double Fira and the 5-drop rare, the Lyra card, it is a bit clunky. Maybe he just doesn't feel like he needs it, even if he's red black white.
Yeah, I could see that. I actually think you get an advantage from taking the second Furia, despite it being legendary, just because you know that you're going to want to be double spelling a lot.
Yeah.
And you can look hard for cards like the good 1-drops like the Berserker, or maybe even the Enduring Bond Warden.
Yeah. Personally, I like that as well. Like you just, you have triple 5-drop there, then actually for the rest of the draft, you just curve low. Like that's kind of the way I would like to do it.
That makes sense as well. I did want to go back to your signal reading discussion earlier, because I find it funny just because I'm such in the opposite camp where I admit that I definitely may do it too much. I may overvalue signals and trying to not be in somebody's color to the point where like how good my pack 3 is doesn't make up for the fact that I'd given up a lot of equity earlier.
Wow. There's an Omnath the other pack. Like the Timmy and me really hurts. Yeah. I like your sort of hedging in pack 1, like in that reality, wielding Niv Mizzet, getting an Omnath here. Like, I'm not saying it's good, but man, like, he could have had such a sweet deck.
At every junction, I think it would have been correct to have gone there, and I think he could have had a nice, at least potential for a 5-color deck, although green doesn't look that open this pack, and you might not get the fixing for it, so it's really tough. Reid spot was tough. We'll definitely give him that. I see somebody saying that Reid drafts like a bronze player, which is absolutely not even close to true. Reid is one of the better drafters in the world. He just has some blind spots.
Okay, so it's so hard here. Like, do you just pick the Stormclaw Rager here, Max?
I think I would slam the Rager. I don't think you're getting that much. I think I would take the Marauder otherwise, but I don't think the Marauder adds that much. The Ichor Drinker. Wow.
I mean, yeah, like we did acknowledge that if he wants to just play the black-white, he does have to curve low, and the Huntmaster pick kind of is a nod to that as well. So actually, what is this?
Invasion of Alara too. Oh my god, that would have been the sickest.
Oh my god, that's so painful, man.
DMG Lowell says, I think for this format you got to be at least a little bit more spicy with your picks, which, while not the most eloquently worded, I think is definitely true. You have to try to do strong things, or you will just lose to a deck that has some rares and removal.
Yep, I think so as well. All right, so very interesting spot here. Wow.
I just can't get over that Ichor Drinker pick. Like, if Reid thinks he's going to be black-red, then wouldn't he rather have the Rager? And if he's going to be black-white, then he's not going to have a ton of sack outlets for the Ichor Drinker. Maybe he's found the combo of Ichor Drinker plus Corrupted Completion to be quite good. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, he does have that the 3-mana 2/3 whatever the Huntmaster is called, and then he has the Drag Recycler, so maybe he's just planning on playing the whole package there.
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't even consider that a package. Maybe I'm just a hater. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, no. I don't. I also agree. I don't really consider it a package, but this Aetherblade Agent coming back is actually really nice. That's a nice pickup for him here.
It would be better if we weren't like already forced to play these Drag Recyclers. Like our 2-drop slot's already kind of covered.
Yeah.
The strength of Aetherblade Agent is that you can play like a few of those and a few rats, Nezumi Informants, and then you got your 2-drops covered that also all scale into the late game.
So Squirrel here in chat says there's no white left in the pack. I think it's fine. Like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I think white's really not open.
But he can still play white.
Yep. I think he's going to have to just because he hasn't adequately hedged into anything else.
Yep. So like his red black is basically off the table. Like he passed a Stormclaw Rager. I think that's just not gonna happen. Like he might end up in this sort of like 3-color deck. Wow, the Fear of Wheels. Okay, so
Nice. He may have considered this, and when he took I don't even remember what he took over it, but when he took that, he may have considered the value of it wheeling, which is definitely something that's worth doing sometimes. Saying like maybe this Fury is 60% to wheel, whereas the card I'm going to take is 30%. I'm going to take this 30%, or even though the Fury is a slightly better card.
Okay, I like that. Battle Blade Fan, perfectly serviceable. You can board it in maybe as well. All right, so looks like we're heading into the end of Pack 2 here. Just gonna pick up whatever cards he can play, and hopefully try to round out his deck here in Pack 3.
For solidarity, I will say that I'm actually not sure my 5-color strategy would have worked out very well. Looking at these packs I was taking, I'm not sure that would have gone well either. That is definitely what I would have done, and I may have gotten punished as much or more than Reid did.
But you would have had a sweet ass deck, like
that is true.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, T1. Like, both of us would have had a sweet ass decks.
Yep.
All right, so taking a look at what he has here, there is some chance that he plays like this sort of a 3-color deck. I think that from how we've chatted so far, generally we try to avoid that. Like, try to avoid this like sort of muddy 3-color pile. If possible.
I want to be splashing a lot. I actually love splashing, but I hate being base 3 colors in this format just because if you stumble, you will lose to battles or to the higher rate commons in the set.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, in most formats, if you end up in this sort of muddy deck that is like straight 3 colors, like instead of being like maybe like 2 colors splash 1 or something like that, like it's not really a good spot. That's just not good Magic in my opinion.
Big difference. Yep, his card quality is low, as the chatter said, and that's what happens when you force a color a little bit too much.
I mean, another way to look at it is that his like top end is actually really, really good. So maybe he can just play like whatever low end stuff, and then have the Fears carry, have his Invasion of Fiora carry, and have his Lyra carry.
So I'll note that a play pattern, maybe a game pattern I found a lot in this format is, if your deck looks like Reid, where you're relying on your top-end cards, but most of your commons and your creatures are bad, because there's so much removal in the set, and high-quality removal, a lot of games will just result in you getting your 1 or 2 high-cost creatures interacted with or outclassed, and then all you're left with is a bunch of mediocre cards, and you just kind of like him.
Yep. Exactly. Like
in a lot of formats, I agree with what you said about just relying on your commons, but yeah, right here.
Yeah, that has also been kind of my experience, and especially if you're not like ahead or if you're not on parity, you're just playing your Fira and just be like, all right, well, I hope it sticks, and most of the time it does not.
Or even if it does stick, like if your card quality is so low, then you might not find anything good off it other than your mediocre commons, and then they can probably beat a 2/4 flying lifelink, even though it's quite strong.
Yeah. All right, so he actually has that Thallid there. Thallid just being one of the best cards in the set, I think.
Is that the white-black rare invasion?
The white-black rare invasion? I actually don't know.
He definitely opened a foiled double-faced card. If it is, that's a huge open for him. His deck can... It is, I believe, Invasion of Toe something.
Or it might be the Boros Invasion?
I think he's both. I think the
Wow.
That's a huge open for Reid.
Yeah, that is really good. So actually, he can double down on his sort of just pick up crappy early game creatures, and I think it actually gets there now.
He's very short on removal, so I'm not sure how easily he's going to be able to flip battles, but I cannot imagine not taking the Vision of Tawada here.
Yes, I agree with that.
I have a question about your chat. Do you have the bot respond to every sentence that ends in a question mark with "why not"?
Actually, every single time somebody starts the question with why, it's
why, not the
yeah. Because back in the day, it was like people are always like, why this, why that, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just so the bot's there, and the bot's kind of helping us out there.
That's great. Oh no, now they're all spamming it.
Nice.
That's funny. Whenever somebody would ask why in my chat, I was streamed like 2 years ago to 5 viewers or whatever, I would always like take it so seriously, and it would detract from the viewer experience how much I would get engaged with these questions. But this is probably a better solution.
Yeah. It just comes with the experience.
Yeah.
All right, moving into pack 3 here. I actually qualified for the last Pro Tour, by the way, but I ended up not going. So I'm in Bangkok, and it was in I don't remember where it was, somewhere in the U.S. So I actually didn't even go. Didn't even go.
Just wasn't worth the equity for the flight, or you didn't want to take time off, or
Yeah, both.
Didn't care that much.
Actually, both. I mean,
oh wow. I think you have to take Breach the Multiverse here.
oh my gosh, I love Breach of Multiverse. Like, that card is so strong.
Yeah, I
And
think it's
honestly,
really strong in his deck.
Yep, and honestly, his deck is not well set up for the the
exactly.
Blot of the Sky or whatever it's called. Oh my!
Wow, you're still
goodness.
trick saving. Blot up the sky. Wow, I love that one.
High 10 guy. Yeah. Oh my god.
Also, I think the white-black invasion has a chance to wheel just because both the Fearjas did. I mean, the issue is that somebody will probably splash it because anybody who's base white can splash it, whereas with Fearja, you can only splash if you're base black.
Yes, I think so as well. The invasion maybe has like I would say like a 25% chance of wheel, something like that. But
yeah, that seems like a reasonable estimate.
okay, that's nice. Collective Nightmare, kind of what his deck needs right now.
Exactly.
Please don't.
Removal and works well with his crappy creatures.
Please don't pick his Ichor Drinker. Reid. Nah, I don't think he's gonna take it yet.
I think he's just pulling up like cards that he knows that he wants. I'm not sure why he wants Ichor Drinkers. That I don't know, but I don't think he's gonna take it.
All right.
That's always tempting, but yeah, I mean, this just isn't the deck for it.
Yeah, you don't have a
speed removal.
You don't have a Skittering Surveyor or anything either, so
yeah. I've been strangely unimpressed by Skittering Surveyor in this format.
Yeah, same as well. Obviously, I still love the card, but it just has not played well at all.
I maintain that it's just that you have to have a curve, you have to get on board, and also that flooding happens pretty often, none of which are beneficial to the Skittering Surveyor.
Okay, the Berserker, very nice here.
I think the easiest Berserker I've ever seen, just because it works with your Fearja so well. Like, it's a 1-drop that does things in the late game and will trigger your Fearja.
Yep, does stuff at every single point. This is just exactly what you want here.
I've been impressed by it regardless, but especially with Fearja.
Yep.
I think Sam Black posted a tweet before the set even came out of like, this is the new Eldritch Visionary, but even better. And made a lot of good points about it.
Card is just so good. All right, so Reid actually in a pretty good spot now, I think. Like, this pack 3 has been phenomenal for him. Like, the first 3 picks already, just exactly what his deck needs.
I'm still not ecstatic, but if the pack continues like this, he gets a few more removal spells, I'll be pretty happy. A Yara is an amazing pickup. Wow. Well, it looks like Reid's gotten rewarded.
I've actually never even played this card before.
I haven't either, but reading it reads extremely strong.
Okay. Sacrifice a creature or artifact. It deals X damage to target opponent or battle, and you gain X life or X of sacrifice permanent's mana value. Wow, okay, that's actually great in this deck.
And then the back value is a 4/4 that returns a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield at the beginning of combat and exiles at the end of combat.
Wow, all right.
Yeah, card is very strong. Early game, does all the things, flips your battles, threatens to kill the opponent, and is a reasonable rate, and late game just goes crazy.
Is that another Niv? Oh my. Oh my. That's so painful, man. Like, imagine if this draft could have been like some sort of a weird double Niv reanimator deck. Like, I don't like, I'm not saying that from the packs we've seen that it would have been good or anything, but like, man, that's such a spicy deck. Like, you don't get that often.
And the worst part is that everybody at this table has seen this and had this exact thought. Like, oh man, should I have gone for it? Damn.
Yeah. Fortune favors the bold, my friend.
Oh, apparently IR exiles end of turn instead of end of combat, which is even better for sack outlets. So yeah, that'll be really strong in his deck with the drag recyclers. I wish I was in this pod so bad.
Yeah.
I've made my statement that I would have gone for it just because I think it was correct. I would have gone for it's correct. You would have gone for it because it was sweet, and I wonder how it would have worked out for us.
Yep, same as well.
All right, I should have said I would have gone for it was correct. I would have gone for it because I thought it was correct.
Yep. Same. And then I think that both of us kind of agree that the sort of black-red, like keep it over to black-red would have been the second choice, and then and then the black-white deck would have been the third choice. But you know, Reid did end up double Fiera and that Lyra card or whatever. So
I mean, it's another scenario where I definitely could be wrong. Like, we talked about staying open to black-red. I have not been seeing that many red cards, and I don't think the synergy would have worked out. And he's getting, like, he's not getting a ton out of white, but he's not messing up his mana that bad. He gets the huge bomb with the Baneslayer Angel, and he gets 2 Fierjas. So.
yeah, I think one thing I will say about that, I think one thing I will say about that is that I think that if he did move into red-black, then the red would be flowing more here. But you know, like since he didn't and then passing all the red, like other players probably were kind of forced to move into red. So
actually, someone in the chat said that these cards probably get hate drafted. Well, for one, they're going on very late, so it's unlikely they're getting hate drafted because most players in highest level drafts, it's not actually worth hate drafting. That's such a common misconception that if you're trying to spike you hate draft, that is very rarely worth it in pod drafting. Just because, I mean, the card you're taking has to be 7 times better than whatever card you'd add to your deck in a sense, right? Because, or I guess not. I'm probably not thinking about this in a great way, but it has to be significantly better than the card that you're taking because you're not that likely to play against it. They have to have it in there. You have to play against the person who has it. They have to play it, and then they have to draw it.
Yeah, basically a spot like that would be like the pack has literal nothing that you would ever play, and there's no card for your sideboard, and then you can do the hate draft or whatever. But like my general advice is like for players who are considering hate drafting, just like take it off your mind. Like it's just not worth it.
They don't wheel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel in Reid's spot. I would definitely be questioning a lot of my choices, but he has a solid deck, and I'm not sure. Go play out. Did you want to watch gameplay, or did you want to talk about some other stuff after this? Oh, it did wheel. No, it did wheel. Look. It's amazing.
Wait, what wheeled?
The Nip is it?
Yes, the Nim is it. Man, this this could have been so Giga Chad, where it's like he like a player in the seat could be like, all right, you know what? Their Nim Mizzets here. I'm actually just gonna wheel them all. Like that could have been like, wow, that would have been a really, really cool draft.